Welcome back to the Artist Access.
Hi.
Man, I'm here with a new upcoming poet by the name of Lyrical Luchador. How you doing, my brother?
It's good to see you, Sarah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really good to be seeing you today.
So I met this cat at the Poetry Lounge. That's 7th spot, right? So this was about maybe like 3 Sundays ago. And this was this guy's first time getting on stage spitting poetry, right? But the dude, when y'all see him performing a little bit, the dude don't look like he just started doing this shit. You hear me?
I really
I'm trying to tell you. You hear me?
Yeah, I really appreciate
Dude, like,
that.
dude got some fire with him. You know what I'm talking about? Like the confidence level is like you wouldn't think he new to the game. You feel me? So I had to reach out and connect with him and get him on the show because the dude fire. You know what I'm talking about?
And thank you all for having me here.
Yeah,
Thank you again for having me here,
yeah.
Suraj. It's a pleasure. This
Yeah.
is really exciting. I'm
Thank
super nervous, I'm not going to lie. But this is so exciting
Yeah,
for me because
yeah.
it definitely feels like I'm kind of slowly working down the avenue of like
Yeah.
a new life,
Yeah,
so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah.
I'd never thought of performing before.
Right. What
you
made
know.
you want to get up on stage and do the shit? Like,
So I had been following the Instagram for the Poetry Lounge for like a year.
Okay.
And I would
you
write
got the balls that day, huh?
I would write to myself all the time, but it was just kind of like my own art form, so to speak, right? So it was just me kind of putting almost my emotions on the paper, just kind of writing out my thinking,
That's how I started.
but adding a little bit of my own flair to it, I went through a lot, honestly, right before I got on stage. Like I had a very, I had a brief period where I was really struggling, and one weekend I was hanging out with my cousins and they just happened to come upon me writing. And they were like, oh, what are you doing? At first it was like a little mockery. I was like, oh, what are you doing? You journaling, man? You got a diary over there? You know what I mean? I was like, nah, man, nah, it ain't no diary, man. Nah, it's not like that, fool.
Right.
And I'm like, I know my mans, they're like, they're just fucking capping on me, they're like, come on, bro, show us what you got, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I'm writing a little, like, I guess a poem, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to come off, machismo, masculine. Like, I'm not trying to, play that role. So I'm like, nah, it's just like a, it's like a bar or whatever. And they're like, all right, come on, show us what you got, right? And so I ended up reading them my piece, and they're like, it was like that moment of silence after where they really acknowledged, like, oh shit, damn, he kind of had bars there for a moment, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily, they didn't elaborate on it like that, but they were like, Hispanics have this kind of like silent acknowledgement. They're not going to acknowledge you verbally. Like, they're not going to hype you up. They're like, okay, all right. And then they, obviously, so at that point, one of my cousins, Remy, she had gone to the Poetry Lounge before, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, man, that was good. She told me, she was like, that is like performance worthy good. You should really give it a shot. And, blessings to my family. I'm very grateful to them because I was in a tough period of time, and that was definitely like the confidence boost that I needed in my life at that point. It really renewed this kind of hope in me, like, oh, well, shit, you know what, man, other things haven't been working out. I've been struggling in the other avenues of my life. I'm just trying to get down this busy street, and I keep feeling like I'm coming upon traffic. But going to the Poetry Lounge every Sunday, that was just a street I'd never been on before, right? And it's one where I'm not dealing with fucking cars sliding in and getting by me in traffic. I'm not dealing with all these red lights. It's like, okay, this is just my time. This is my Sunday. It's my church. You know what I mean? I go every Sunday. I treat it like it's my place of religious worship, because it's really just, I don't tailor my writing to anyone. Even when I read a piece to somebody and I ask them for criticisms, it's very much so up to me. Because some people will tell me, they'll read a piece and they'll be like, well, I'm not sure if I'm really catching the main part of the message. And I'm like, well, it's for you to interpret. You know what I mean? The main part of the message is only going to be for me to know. I'm the artist that wrote it, right? It's something that's profound to me, but everyone sees something differently in whatever it is you put down on paper. And that's how I feel when I go to the Poetry Lounge. It's not me tailoring my experience to other people's demands. It's just me putting it out on paper. And then I get to put it out in words.
Right. It's just like a painting. Like when you paint, like when an artist painted this picture, he didn't paint this to cater to me.
Yeah.
Or he painted something and as whoever watches it, they get whatever they get from it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, art is poetry. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, and you know, getting to see you go on stage, man, my second time up, that was a blessing. You're good, man. You're really good. You know, I see all the other experienced performers, poems. You know, we're performers for that night. We're poets at the end of the day, but at that point on stage, we're performing for a crowd. You know, and I see the elegance in the skills learned through time. You know what I mean? There's a refined kind of edge to when you get up on stage. And I'm very thankful that you think I go on confident. Because
you be like, I'm nervous.
It's bravado, man. I'm telling you, it's bravado. It's just in that moment.
We don't even see it.
Exactly. In that moment, I just have to decide, you know what, it's braver to be nervous and continue through than to be a coward and simply shun away. You know, in that moment, I feel like, okay, this is only something the hero of their own story would do. And even if it's minute, it's minuscule in comparison to some great struggles out there. It's my struggle in that moment. Every day is just about choosing, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do what scares me. I'm gonna do what, you know, kind of makes me nervous. And
if it ain't scaring you, it ain't big enough. The dream ain't big enough.
Absolutely. There's not enough, you know, there's not enough stakes in the game. You know what I mean? For me to go up on stage, it's me being very vulnerable in that moment. You know what I mean? Like I said, I tailor my writing towards me, so it's not necessarily me, you know, making something to perform. It's just something I'm trying to perform. You know, sometimes it doesn't come across, you know, the same. Like I said, some people listen to what I have to write and they're like, well, I'm not sure if I'm getting the message. You know, and they're talking about the theme of the poem, and I'm telling them, well, you know, I'm asking for your criticisms on how it sounds, but not necessarily the message behind it. That's something you gotta find. You know what I mean? It comes into place once you finish a piece and once it's refined, and you're like, there it is. You know what I mean? You can hear the invocation of whatever that person was trying to put down on paper, whether it's a spell or some kind of emotion, it's there. It's within the motion of their language, how they're speaking, you know?
Look at here. Wait, we ain't gonna waste no more time. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna get you in that booth right quick.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I appreciate that, man.
Bro, you sitting there doing this interview, and look, you gotta keep doing this poetry. Because I'm trying to tell you, because whatever you was going through before, and I hate how you, like, poetry sound like it's your piece. It give you your peace. I'm trying to tell you, you got a future in the poetry world. You feel me?
Thank you.
I'm trying to tell you. So stick with it. So look, man, we're gonna take us to we gonna might just get straight to it. So y'all stay tuned. My man about to get in the booth and do his thing. Y'all stay tuned, man. We're gonna do this thing right quick. You heard me?
Hola, mi compas y compañeros. Mi nombre es Angel Luis Medrano, and I'm here to read you a poem tonight that I titled "To Those Praying on My Downfall." Don't think just because the rhythm of my sound slowed down that my words still can't stretch around all these tall topics. Like mountains and climbers, I'll show you what I am, a fantastic rhymer, ticking like the bomb on a clock, a lyrical timer, hit you like the end of an action movie, only one-liners. I go to sleep but can't escape the party inside my head. The only place getting more action than a war zone is underneath the sheets of my bed. I'll have you sleeping like yo sipping sangria. Hit you with the combo Bowser versus Mario, having you screaming Mamma Mia. I'll hit you with ridiculous sounds, not even English, still describing you as a clown, onomatopoeia. I've been stomping sounds since your birth. I'm wasting breath here when breathing ain't something you're worth. I'm crossing you up like we're on the turf. I'm causing big waves like I took you to the beach and decided to show you how to surf. You're drowning under all this water. And with every word, I'm getting hotter. This engine is overheating, and the smell of gasoline has me overeating. Less of a yes man, more of a machine. The soulless gears in my heart is what's left to be seen. After everything this world's done to me, after being told what I wanted was what I couldn't be, now you got a Terminator, a constant forever, all the time, eternal hater, a passive-aggressive, sly comment, piece of shit debater. 'Cause I'll play the devil's advocate, pull out bad opinions like a magic trick, a magician just like Kanye, and I'll go all day, no need to waste away, this ain't no place to play, but every moment is ours to pray. I'm running by you at pace just so I can wave and say, how's it feel to come in last place today? I'm wearing gold when I still eat off of paper plates. My brain is hitting lyrical weights. I'm a spiritual great, my rhymes are never late, my lines aren't up for debate, my greatness is something you hate. I don't know what it's like to rhyme that bad, to be heard and have people think, damn, that's sad. Funny to think talent is something you thought you had. My bloodline has royalty sewn into it. I'm just a king without his crown. You're a jester at best, but closer to a clown. I'ma make comments about you like I'm hilarious, but every single word is nefarious. Have people thinking, are you hearing this? Didn't he say he was a pacifist? Well, I was, but now I'm just looking toward the bright side. So if you're hoping for the worst, expect me to write you your own special little verse. Oh, and remember, I too wish you the worst.
Yeah. Huh? He said, go in there. Let's step back in the booth, man. Yeah, that was the lyrical. What you say?
Lyrical Luchador.
Luchador.
I appreciate that, Sir.
That was hard, bro.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So hold on, we ain't finished yet,
Oh,
man.
shit,
Look,
that
yo,
was-
I'm talking
damn.
about.
Yep.
So this has been another episode of the Artist Access. Y'all seen my man just kill that thing, man. Look here, y'all stay following the brother. The brother got a future in his poetry lane. He gonna keep on doing this thing. The brother was talking like he been doing it for a minute. His poetry like he been doing it for a minute. Like I said, man, I think you found your niche in life. You know what I'm talking about?
I really appreciate that,
Yeah,
Siraj.
yeah,
That means
yeah.
a lot to hear from somebody experienced.
No, I'm telling you, hey, when I'm on stage doing poetry,
Yeah.
I be knowing they got people in the audience that want to be up there,
Yeah.
but they still be scared and nervous and whatnot. So while I'm on stage, I'm giving energy to those people to break through them fears and get up there on that stage and do what they're here to do. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody keep doing your thing, bro. I appreciate you coming through.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll come back when I'm a class act.
Niggas ride dick like a Uber and it's just some fraud shit. I feel like stunner rich regardless. Paint pictures like artists. Took pen to